Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Maisie's Garden. I have a message for you, and this is part two, which hasn't happened in a very long time. So go find part one so you guys know what I'm talking about, because this is part two where we're being a little messy. This is my little messy read, a hidden heart desire read, right? But this got a little sad. Like I'm sad about this because somebody, and you guys may be mirroring each other in a way of where you're thinking about each other a lot. There's a lot of attraction, craving, a lot of lust, a lot of sexual energy between the two of you. But one of you, is insecure, and so they have a really hard time because they've made some mistakes. They allowed other people to influence them. They allowed their ego to influence them, and so they have like an emotional storm. They're very like unstable within themselves, and so they don't feel like that they're good enough for this other person, and so they do a lot of stuff that's hot and cold. They go back and forth thinking things are better off the way that they are, and that, it's just better to keep things separate and to stay silent and to stay distant. And then other times, their perspective is that, that there's a real connection there, and that maybe one day things could start over or go in a new direction, or you could finally actually start something together. This person watches you, but again, they're like apology. This person wants to apologize, but their ego is having a hard time with it. I think they think you have, hold on one second. Sorry about that. I had to grab the card because it went flying. I think they think that you've moved on. That's their perception. That's what they see. That's what they think. You guys can see the ring light in my window. I just noticed that. It doesn't even matter. I don't care. And so they've made it seem like they've moved on, walked away, just releasing this, even though they wish that they could return with an apology. There's like a bluff going on. And again, you guys can be mirroring each other, pretending. They're like exaggerating on how much they don't care. Exaggerating on how much they, that they don't feel for you. But I think your intuition is telling you different, because I feel like you guys have a lot of the same feelings, right? But there's an emotional storm there. This person is not comfortable in feeling this way. And have they felt this way before? Because it's giving like they haven't really felt this way often. So elusive. They haven't felt this way often. They're usually pretty good at keeping their emotions in check, not really getting emotionally invested in people, being elusive, not really like catching feelings and feeling a certain way, or or whatever, getting in too deep with people. They usually keep it very shallow. And so they're starting to really realize that because of that nature, they have like started to like fuck things up, and that it's starting to awaken them to their own patterns of and habits, and like why they do what they do. They're having deja vu. They feel trapped in their own toxicity. They feel trapped in their own toxicity. They're starting to recognize the patterns, though. They're really, really starting to recognize the patterns, but they feel so conflicted. They're not sure if it's just lust, if that's what all of this is, or if it's like, are there really deep emotions there? Is there an actual importance and value there? They're gaining clarity over it, and they're going to start listening to their intuition. Tell me more about this. Hold on. Let me get the tarot out. Tell me more about this, please. Tell me more about this hidden heart's desire. This person that's got hidden heart's desire. This feels like this may be somebody that you're not talking to, and if you are, it's very surface level. You guys don't talk much. They go in and out of ghosting, very hot and cold. When they start feeling like you're getting a little too close, they go silent on you. And they don't talk. It's a self-preservation thing. It doesn't feel like you really did anything for them to want to like not talk to you. I don't think that they feel comfortable. Yeah, Justice. Somebody could have Libra placements. Somebody want 8 of Wands. There's an apology coming in. Some of you could be waiting for the apology. Or somebody's just trying to figure out the best time to come rushing in with an apology and to make things right. I feels like they keep going back and forth. They like, should I wait? Should I come in? Should I do this? Should I not do this? Yeah, Judgment, a reconciliation, somebody wanting to get on better terms, right their wrongs. You know, kind of like a whistleblowing. The universe is kind of stepping in and trying to balance things back out, especially with Justice here and the Knight of Swords. Somebody does have feelings here, but it feels like yeah. Somebody does have feelings, and the other person just wants peace. One of y'all just want peace. I just heard peace and quiet. So one of y'all just want some peace and quiet. And something's about to change, though, because with the 8 of Wands, that's like a movement forward. That's a rush. That's a take action card. That's a rushing of energy. So if you've been waiting for an apology, it's going to come in. Yeah, somebody wants to get into more calmer waters with you. And there it really came out. Judgment really came out. That was at the bottom of the deck and then it flipped out. Somebody wants to move into calmer waters. They want a reconciliation. They want to have better times with you. We have Jupiter. All right, so we have Libra placements. We have Jupiter, which is Pisces and Sagittarius. Judgment, which is Pluto, Scorpio. What else do we got? Somebody is disappointed in not taking action. That they held themselves back from what they really wanted, or taking the leadership or taking the lead in this and like stepping up to the plate and rising to the occasion. Feels like they didn't do it. Yeah, no, they didn't, did they? Did they? They was a fool instead. They was a fool. They were a fool based off of previous heartbreak, confusion, too many options, way too many options going on. And like the other thing said, being influenced by friends, family, other partners, other attachments, just being influenced in the wrong way to think differently about the relationship or the connection that you guys had. Though deep down, I feel like they knew. That's crazy. Yeah, somebody's regretting their actions. Regretting it. Someone's also regretting showing genuine love. That's sad. If you showed nothing but don't regret ever being your genuine self to somebody. Somebody was just doing it out of their own ego. They created their own mess. Let them clean it the fuck up. They eventually will. They want to, at least. At some point, it's like a dam breaking, and then all this rushing of energy is going to come towards all of this. And it's going to be quite it's going to lead to peace and balance. It's going to lead to peace and balance. And an apology. Peace, balance, and apology. Look at peace and balance. 4 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and then Justice came out again. Peace, balance, harmony, righting things that were once wrong. Somebody's getting their justice. Okay? Reach out if you guys need any help. I love you. See you later.